Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
Well, hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
Whew, I'm doing fine this fine Saturday morning.
Back from your travels and all of that?
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Very
Okay.
refreshed,
Okay. Ready to go?
ready to go, ready to go, ready to jump back in. I guess.
All
How are
right.
you?
I'm doing fine. I survived my fourth Pilates class yesterday. So
Are you
I think
counting?
I yeah, because I am counting. Yes. So I think I'm getting into the flow of it. So it's all good and not as sore as I usually am. So life is good.
That is awesome. I saw a clip from one of the classes, and I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
jealous. Seemed to be so much fun. Everybody seems to be
Well,
so
they are fun
into.
because they have music and
Yeah,
that's something different and
yeah.
it's just it's good. So okay, so Teresa, recently we talked about party etiquette and making sure you RSVP and we do what we can here at Earrings Off to just make sure we're a better community. and but today we're going to talk about something that's sort of similar, but not really. But anyway, it's
It
what we
is in a
say to
way
each other,
etiquette.
huh?
It's still etiquette.
Yeah, it's but then it's more about what our language means when we say it. Because we have code phrases and things we say that may imply something, but the actual meaning to us is different. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But what struck me when we talked about doing this segment was, you know, I don't know if you have this reaction, but when somebody says you look tired today, it's like, hmm, that wasn't what I was going for. And when I thought about that, I thought, well, it's different if somebody that's close to me or my husband or family member saying you're tired. It's like they're checking in. Are you okay? Or is there something I need to be doing to better support? That's what I think it means in that context versus if I'm out in a public space with acquaintances or even friends, but the proximity of the relationship is not such that what am I supposed to do with that?
Right.
Do you have?
So you're saying though, if proximity, meaning you don't know me like that.
Well, yeah, and right. Well, not that the relationship is not such that I would expect that because I think it's innocent, but sometimes it's sort of taken as a rebuke, and I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm being sensitive with that. So I don't know.
Mhm.
But anyway, when I thought about that, I also thought about how we we say to each other, particularly sisters, you are wearing that dress, and
Mhm.
that's always a compliment. And to other people, that might be, well, what does that mean? Because, of course, you're wearing the dress. I see it on you, but it means something different, something deeper than that. It means that it's hitting in all the right places. So it's very flattering on you, that outfit. So,
Right.
hmm yeah. So, you got any examples of that, Teresa? Similar
Well,
saying?
well, you know, not really. I think I missed the assignment, but
Mm,
so here's the deal. This is what I thought about. I recently came to know of someone who had to have a procedure, right?
uh,
And people, the response to that procedure was much like, "Oh my gosh, you're not going to make it." Right? So instead of saying
no.
something like, "I feel sorry for you." Like, "I feel so sorry this happened to you." In a situation like that, that is the absolute wrong thing to say, right? And that can be found to the person who's dealing with it. that can be hurtful. That is
Yeah.
hurtful. That would
Well,
be
and
hurtful. Instead
it's
of
frightening too
yeah.
because you for whatever reason you've decided or your doctor has said this is the best course you're going to undergo this procedure. So that's what I mean. What are you supposed to do with that at that point when
So
somebody makes a comment like that?
instead of saying I feel sorry for you, you might say I'll be praying for you. May God bless you on a speedy recovery or something to that nature, right?
Yeah, yeah, not yeah.
Or
That's
say, just say, I heard you're not feeling well. I'm so worried. Is there anything that I can do? Like, is there something I can do to help?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you on that. Or like when somebody maybe admonishes you or advises you on a particular course of action, and then you don't take that advice, and then something happens, and then the response is, "Well, you brought that on yourself." You know,
Oh, oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah, that
that
doesn't hit.
even if I did, that one stings a bit. You know,
That you should not. Yeah,
and
you should
so
not.
So if you're a friend or a family member and your goal is to support, it's not about always saying everything somebody does is right. You can be honest in the relationship, but it's the way you phrase your response. So
Right, right.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can always
I
tell someone in the case of being sick, right? If someone is
like
sick, you're in my thoughts and my prayers. And you should
that.
always, I think we had a segment with a young lady whose husband had cancer. Do you remember that one?
Right, I
And
remember.
she wrote a book about how to address those type things, right? And it's like just ask, what can I do to help?
Yeah,
Just ask for permission, just
yeah,
don't don't automatically assume that the individual doesn't need help. Just ask,
yeah, yeah. Well,
how
I
are you
recently,
feeling? That's a good
yeah,
question. If you don't mind me asking, do you
yeah,
mind? And if somebody minds you asking, then you keep it moving, don't press it you know
yeah, yeah. I recently heard about a young single mom who has three kids, and the boy in the family had been acting out quite a bit, and she had a bit of a meltdown with her mom and was crying about, you know, how difficult it was, and what made it worse was that this kid had acted out in a store in public, and um, I think a stranger basically said to her, "Oh, you gonna have problems with that one," because they saw how she was interacting, and they assessed it to be not the proper way to interact or handle the situation with her son acting out. But it's like, oh, really? So that's what you offer? He's having a meltdown. The mom is trying to manage it in public, and your response is basically to say, "Oh, you gonna always have problems with him because you don't
yeah,
know what you're doing." So yeah,
that's really bad. Keep your commentary to yourself.
yeah, yeah,
And
because
to
it's
that mama, I say sometimes you just never mind.
yeah, yeah. So, mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
but, yeah, you can't we don't sometimes I mean, I've had people make those type comments to me, and it's like, I don't think you even thought about what you're saying before you said it, or how that comment is going to has impacted me or impacts me.
Well, and that's what we're talking about today. Just what you said. Maybe taking a minute and thinking about how is it going to land? How is that comment going to land? And taking a minute to figure out how to make a point, but not make it in such a way that the hearer or the person that the comment's directed at is further damaged by that comment. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I don't know why this came to mind. These sessions or these conversations we have are almost always a lot like therapy, right? So I just had I just had a thought that came back to my mind about some time ago. We're in the setting where, people were snapping pictures. It was celebratory, and we're having a good time. And I refused, I just don't like my picture taken. Like
Yeah,
we,
I
we
know you don't like your picture taken.
and
Yes.
we talked about how hard it is even for, being on camera. Like
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like it. But
Well, you and
anyway,
I both had to adjust to that.
yeah,
This is a
right.
whole new
So
thing. Yeah.
whole new thing, right? So nothing's changed. I've always been this way.
Have
And
you always been that way though?
always, always.
Okay. Yeah.
And so a comment was made by a person taking the picture. Oh, get in the picture. Nobody told you to go natural with your hair anyway.
No.
I'm like, it is
Somebody said
nothing to
that?
do. Somebody said
Somebody
that to
said
me.
that?
Somebody said that. I said it has nothing to do with the fact that my hair is natural. I'll take the picture. I don't want my picture taken. It's just that simple.
See, that's sort of like the tired comment because people not meaning to. That's a negative connotation with that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't I
And
mean,
you know what? It's strange. It's funny you said that because recently I was in a store checking out, and the young young African American female that was checking me out, she said to me, "I really like your hair." And I stopped. I said, "Well, thank you." She said, "It looks really nice." I said, "Well, I have to tell you, today I appreciate that because as an older black female, this natural thing is challenging me." And she laughed. I said, "Because it's much easier for me to have a perm and just put a few, bump it in the morning and keep it moving." I said, and then, I said in the past, she said, "Well, is this your first time natural?" I said, "Absolutely not." I said, I've gone natural about 3 or 4 times, but every time before, I just did the big chop. I mean, I had no hair, and so I kept it that way. But this is the first time I've tried to have learn how to style it and do different things. I said, and as an older black woman, I said, this is not easy to learn. And she said, "Well, let me tell you, you're doing it." And she said, "So, you keep doing it." And I told her, we talked a little bit about, for us, it's just healthier for our hair. But that was much appreciated. And just the support versus you don't want to take a picture because your hair is
right,
nasty. And
right.
that's what this is about, Teresa. And you're right. It is sort of like the etiquette bent because I believe for the most part people mean well, but it just doesn't land well. You know?
Right, right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And for me, with my hair, like it's Nia's 23. I haven't had a perm in 23 years.
Is that right? Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's never been about the hair for me ever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I didn't want to take pictures prior to that. So, like my
Right.
whole life,
No,
literally,
you
I'm
just
not
don't.
making it up. I
No,
am the
you
one
just don't like to take pictures because we both talked about when we launched Earrings Off. This is taking us all out of our comfort zone.
who.
And they say that's very good for you. And I know it is, but still, it's been a bit jarring to adjust to this, you know, to what we're doing. So yeah.
Right, right, right. But,
Yeah,
we're adjusting.
yeah,
We're adjusting, and
yeah, yeah.
I'm getting
But
better. You're making me take pictures, so.
yeah, well, we do.
We can do it.
Listen, we said when we started we were gonna lay it all on the line for earrings off, and that's what we've done. But yeah, I think, like I said, just in everyday conversations, that we just think about, okay, what am I saying to that person? Is that we don't have to sugarcoat everything? That's not what I'm saying, but just to choose how we're saying things, and that's easier for some people than for others because
Other.
not to toot my own horn, but I'm comfortable with language, and I much of my career was spent in learning how to say hard things, but in a way that they could be heard and digested, but wasn't harmful to the process. Because if I didn't learn to do that, I would have been fired. So
Right.
that was a requirement. But learning that, I was able to carry that over into some hard conversations that needed to be had, elsewhere. So
Yeah, or just even as simple as this, Lou, just put yourself in their shoes. If you're
that's
dealing with a
even better,
situation
Teresa.
that's uncomfortable,
Yeah, yeah,
put
yeah,
yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, is this a comment that I would appreciate at this time
yeah.
relative to this
That's
situation, you know? Just put
well,
yourself in their shoes, and it's never good to say harmful, hurtful things to someone who's dealing with something. If they're sick, or it's just not good. The best you can do, the best you should do, is ask, is there anything I can do to help?
yeah, yeah.
How can I help you? That's all you should be
And
offering.
because you know how I am with illness and what a baby I can be about it and all of that. And I've admitted I'm a hypochondriac. Anything goes wrong, I think is worse. So if I had to undergo a procedure and someone said something, that put even more fear in me, I just don't know. It's because it's already hard enough to navigate that when something's going on. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah. All
Yeah.
righty, Lou.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about a little bit of health stuff.
All righty. I figured we would.
So this one's a good one, actually. You
Mhm.
eat broccoli, right?
Yeah, I do. I love broccoli. Yeah.
So what health benefits do you know that broccoli? What when you think of broccoli, what do you think about in terms of health?
Um,
It helping what?
well, I just figure since it's a green vegetable that's got fiber in it,
Yeah,
um,
it's a
I, that- yeah,
cruciferous, and
vegetable.
when we think of cruciferous, we think of
And
cancer.
Teresa, stop getting on here asking me questions. You know I don't know anything other than it's a green vegetable. And what in the world? We are going to have an off-camera discussion about how we get on live thing, and you're asking me questions because it's like you have the knowledge like the back of your hand, and you know I don't know anything other than it's broccoli. What in the
No,
world?
no, seriously, seriously.
Yes,
You
yes.
never thought of it. Most people think of anti-cancer when they think of broccoli, right? Like
Now that you
it
mention
has.
it, yes, yes, I do.
All right.
Yes, anti-cancer. Okay, yeah, that sounds
So
about right.
broccoli is probably the best known for its anti-cancer properties, but it also has twice the vitamin C of an orange
Wow, did
and
not know
almost
that.
as much calcium as whole milk, right? It is
Okay.
known to reduce the risk of osteoarthritis, high blood pressure, heart and kidney diseases, and diabetes. And it supports healthy liver function. Broccoli sprouts, in particular, have been shown to help detox environmental pollutants. This is important for virtually everyone these days because, especially, this is important for, but especially for women of childbearing age. Autistic children are known to have higher levels of environmental toxins in their system, and this
What?
underlying toxic burden plays a significant role.
Teresa, did you
Sulforaphane
know that
about broccoli.
before? About autistic children having a higher toxic overload.
Yes,
What? Okay. Mhm.
I've read that before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sulforaphane is the compound that gives broccoli its anti cancer activity and is particularly abundant in broccoli sprouts. 3-day old sprouts can contain 20 to 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. The compound can kill cancer stem cells, help detoxify carcinogens, halt cancer cell growth, and activate cancer fighting genes. Preliminary research even suggests that adequate intake of sulforaphane may relieve certain symptoms of autism.
Hmm.
For maximum sulforaphane retention in fresh broccoli, steam, never boil, for 3 to 4 minutes, or just eat raw sprouts, which are far more potent than the mature plant. So that came that what the story that I just read came out of a this well-being journal. Is one of my favorite next to Mantra. Well, I think I put this one before Mantra. Well-being journal
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very
that's
good.
good. I've read that. Mhm.
Yeah. Magazine, and it also this that short article didn't get into it, but it's anti-inflammatory. Broccoli sprouts are,
Mhm.
um, and I tend to use a lot of them on salads. You know, I try to eat a lot of broccoli sprouts for their anti-inflammatory properties, as well as the vitamin C.
When we did the 20-day cleanse, I ate quite a bit of raw broccoli. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And yeah,
raw
yeah,
broccoli is really really good, and now you know that the broccoli sprouts even have more
even more. Okay.
nutrition in them. So
Okay.
if you can try to incorporate them, people often ask vegans and vegetarians how they get this or that or the other. And as you can see, calcium is in broccoli, a large amount. I mean, replacing a cup of whole milk with the equal amount of or less even of broccoli is a good thing, and it you get the same benefit with
Yeah.
less of the bad, with none of
Right.
the bad that comes with drinking whole milk. I'll
Right.
just say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Yep.
Very, very good. Thank you for that, as always. Um, Teresa, we are coming up to our mantra, but going back to, I wanted to at least include a positive saying that people like to say in our community when we see somebody and we say, "Where are you going?" And I did that recently with a friend because she really looked very nice that day, and it brought a chuckle to her face. I was like, "And what you trying to do?" And those are sayings that we say to encourage each other to just, and it if people know what that means when we say it to each other, that you approve, or they're looking nice that day. So that's a positive thing that people say. Or another one I thought about, when people say, "I'm scared of you," that means that, of course, we're on our A game that day, or we're doing something that's we're doing well. And so those are other sayings that are code languages or phrases that we say in our community. So
Very good. Very
yes. So Teresa, this brings us to, unless you have something else, our
good.
mantra for today, which is our Saturday morning mantra. And of course, folks, we do our mantra to sort of set the tone for today, what you want to see happen today. And it starts with what you think will happen today. When your feet hit the ground on a new, fresh day and you think to yourself, "I'm going to have a good day. Today's going to be a good day." You think it to yourself and allow that to permeate your spirit, to just say, "That's what's going to happen today." Because the mind is very powerful. in what it receives, and it then begins to take action to align itself with what you believe to
Right.
happen, that's going to happen. And so that's what we do here at Earrings Off. It's just to start our day with a mantra. So today is a good day.
I will make it so.
My reality is formed by what my mind tells it.
Today, I am healthy and well.
I am at peace.
I extend kindness to myself and others.
In my actions and interactions today,
I lead with my commitment to do better.
and be better,
I commit to being part of the solution.
to positively impact the environment.
And the world
My choices.
become my reality.
Okay. Folks, join us for our next regular show here on Fireside on Tuesday, September 12th at 8 p.m. And I believe our next regular show is Saturday, no, September 30th at 9 a.m. Please make sure to put those dates on your calendar. We welcome you to join us here live on Fireside. It's an interactive platform. You can certainly jump on stage and join the conversation. Teresa, also, you want to give them an update on our upcoming big event in October?
Woohoo! It's conference time.
Yes,
Yes,
it
having
is.
yes, our third annual Earrings Off conference is October. And Lou, I don't have the date in front. 14th,
14th, Saturday,
Saturday, October 14th, at 9 a.m.
Eastern
And
Standard Time. It's being held in Richmond, Virginia. So if you are in the area, please join us. And tickets are now on sale at ticketspice.com.
as well, you can get to a
Oh,
ticket
yeah.
on our website at www.earringsoff.com.
Yes. So please join us and check out our latest episodes wherever you listen to your podcast. We are on all the major platforms. We encourage you to please read our blogs also on our website at earringsoff.com. We have a new podcast episode every Sunday by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a new blog, a brand new blog every Tuesday by 4 p.m. as well. So please check us out and stay engaged. And if you have comments for us, please send those to info@earringsoff.com. Thank you so much for joining us today at Earrings Off. We know you could have done many other things, but you chose to spend your time with us, and we appreciate that.